As a council, we wanted to get as much feedback from the public as we could. And so as we started this year, we had just finished one of our surveys of the community, and we are moving into our strategic planning phase of our planning for the year. And we wanted to do a series of conversations with community members to just get their feedback on a variety of topics. And so we are doing these. We're having 4 of these events at different geographic locations throughout the city, so that everybody will have an opportunity to come. Some are at night. We have one that's in the morning. And our hope is to get a lot of feedback so that we can use that information as we start putting together our strategic planning for the year and our budgeting later in the year. There's 4 questions that they're being asked to discuss. One is, what do you like most about Forest Lake? Second question is, what are some areas that you think Forest Lake could improve on? The next question is, what can the city do to ensure its vitality in the future? And lastly, the last question that we asked them is, what can the city do to spur on economic development and growth? And so each of the tables behind me are currently having discussions on those 4 topics, and then we will convene as a full group and have somebody from each table report the discussion that took place at their table, and then we'll open it up to more of an open forum for everybody to have a conversation and commentary on what came out of those discussions and any other topic that citizens might want to talk about.
We want to become more business friendly. We want to be able to say, this is why you should be here, or what's great about us.
About some of the items that are, or the issues that are really necessary. Again, I touch on the storm sewer being the big one for most of us.
Well, we talked a lot about business and really felt that we, like a lot of you are talking about, we want to bring these businesses in and find the way to do it. So more commercial, industrial businesses to lower taxes. We wish to see some of those incentives to bring those new businesses here.
Well, I'm so glad we have our legislative friends with us here tonight. This is something we're sort of all collectively involved with. But as you're aware, this is the 3rd year we've had a surface water management fee, and it has gone up progressively year to year, significantly from the last billing to this next billing, where it's now $32 per parcel per year. And that is assessed on all parcels within the city of Forest Lake, unless it's smaller than 1 acre undeveloped. And basically what the fee is for, just in a nutshell, without getting into all the detail, is we're obligated and required by the Municipal Pollution Control Agency to have a municipal stormwater permit. And we have certain obligations under that permit. They require us to have what's called a stormwater pollution prevention plan, and it's all oriented toward water quality. And we heard a little bit about that tonight. You know, we're all interested in clean water. We don't want to see Clear Lake, Forest Lake, Silver Lake, others on the impaired list. And so this is really some of the first steps, you know, in that. And more or less the fee that's charged there is to administer our requirements under that permit. And Doug Portland, our Community Development Director, is very involved in our MS4 program. Ellie is also our Finance Director, and she's very in tune with the billing side of that. But basically, we don't have a choice on whether or not we want to administer this program, and you can debate whether it's important to be working on these activities or not, but we have certain permit requirements that we have obligated to adhere to. And this is the funding mechanism that's in place, and there could be a good conversation about should that be built into the tax base or should it be in this fee. But you know, at a point in time, you know, this is determined that a fee assessed to the parcels would be the funding mechanism for this, as opposed to you know doing it on the property taxes. A couple things for people that have multiple parcels in particular. You know, some folks might get a couple of bills just because they have, they have a 10-acre homestead and they have another 10 acres next to them, but they're distinct parcels. If you haven't combined those into one tax parcel, you will get double billed. You have the opportunity to combine that into one tax parcel. However, you have to be aware that when you combine them into one tax parcel, you know, you might limit you in the future as to what you want to be doing with the divisions of your properties and things like that. So,
well, when I became mayor, I was surprised at how little feedback I got from the residents. We have over 18,000 citizens in Forest Lake, and I received virtually, from a statistical standpoint, virtually no feedback from the community. So I wanted to bring more attention to that, and this fits in perfectly with that, is creating different means for people to communicate with us. As I mentioned, we'll be rolling out a Facebook page shortly. We're trying to make better use of email and make it easier for people to access the council by email on our website. We've done that, and this is just another method of trying to make us ensure that we are more closely connected to people that might want to offer feedback, and that's what we're doing.